3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Chick-fil-A got a little promo in there. I swear to God, they owe me money now. Like, I don't know, like, I know Chick-fil-A is like starting to make their way around the U.S. to where they're popular everywhere and they have tons of locations. And I know some people think, oh, it's not that great. I mean, it is just to me. Like, when you grew up with it, it's normal chicken, but it's still good chicken. But anyways, I give them too much promotion because I eat there quite a bit because, well, like tonight I had a chicken salad. Not like chicken salad. I don't like chicken salad because I don't like mayonnaise-y things, like super heavy mayonnaise-y things. But like salad with chicken, grilled chicken. That's the thing. People always ask me, they're like, how do you stay so skinny? And I'm like, because I actually eat healthy. I don't like eat garbage all the time. Like, I try to eat at least 3 to 4 helpings of vegetables in a day, just so that way I can maintain a healthy, balanced diet. But a lot of people eat like trashy, and a lot of people, like, that's why they talk about like entrepreneurs letting their health go to waste when they start on their entrepreneurial journey. And that's true in a sense, because like I'll forget to eat and that's unhealthy and I should be eating, but like, you know, at least I'm eating the right kind of food, I guess, right? But let's go ahead and say what's up to everybody who's here. Let me see here really quick. As y'all do hop in, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button letting me know you're here, as well as just saying hey and letting me know where you're from. That would be great. Jair Martinez, what's going on? Danny, what's up? Eugene, how's it going, man? Driven Digital Marketing. Finally made it to one. Glad you're here, man. Who brought the party? John Thomas. John Thomas, I'm going to guess you brought the party because you always seem to try to bring the party, which I'm okay with. You got to have a good time with it, right? Mo got sales. What's going up? Or what's going on? First, Cane's is good. I'm not sure what Cane's... Like Cane's like the restaurant? What's on the topic of discussion for tonight? The topic of discussion is whatever you guys want to make it. That's the thing. It's about you guys. Tonight, this event, these live streams that we do every Thursday are all about you guys and the questions you have. I try to do my best to answer and resolve some of the questions that you're having, whether it be with something related to just digital marketing or just building a business, sales, because that's the thing. I want you guys to understand this isn't just about marketing. We can talk about building a business, and because a lot of you are getting to the point now where you've been doing it long enough and you're starting to get clients and you have to scale your agency, which means next building your team, right? Take those off, I guess. But building your team is probably the next part, and to do that you have to know some processes and how to build and really how to understand process management and workflows. And that's something we've been spending hours and hours and hours of time on trying to get the processes right. I've been doing nothing but staring at a computer screen. Same with Ted, he'll tell you. I mean, I'm sure he's probably put 200 hours in, but that's the thing, guys. There's a lot in here. Or there's a lot to starting a business other than just the marketing side of things. But I understand that most of you are newer and less comfortable with starting the marketing agency or running the digital marketing campaign. So obviously that's why more questions go around that topic. Jorge, what's going on, man? Steve Graul, what's up? Logic, what's up, man? Luke from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I love Myrtle Beach. It's so nice there. Jorge says he's from Chile. We got people from Chile in the house. We got Indiana here from Jason. LA is in the house with Eugene. Got people from all over the place. Arkansas, cool. Mario Mitchell, what's going on from Vegas? Danny, Facebook SEO. Facebook SEO, what you want to know? Because there isn't really much to Facebook SEO. Like, there's a little bit, but it really has to do more with how much engagement you get on a post versus like using keywords. So you can think there is, like, if you really look at the theory of what SEO is and what organic versus ad spend on, or organic content versus ad spend content on Facebook is, there technically is a PPC and an SEO of Facebook. How can you get a post to rank organically on Facebook? Well, it has to do with, really, you have to have a huge audience, or you have to make that post go viral, so that way when people type in a keyword that was used in that caption or in the title or in a hashtag or something like that, that can actually help you show up when someone searches for that specific keyword or that type of post. So if that's what you're wondering, that's what Facebook SEO would be. Edison Colabelli. I don't know if I said that right. I hope I did. What's the difference between a good post on Facebook and a bad one? Oh, man. So that's really broad, but I mean, it could be a multitude of things. It could be the copy. It could be the actual creative itself. It could be the message not lining up with the follow through. So one of the biggest issues that I see with Facebook ads is you'll have this copy written, and then you'll have some sort of creative, whether it's a video or a photo, and then somebody builds the ad out, right? But the message is inconsistent with the landing page that they're driven to. Or let's say it's a brand new customer, targeting an ad to, or not a brand new customer, but a brand new viewer, right? Someone who would be considered cold traffic. If it's a brand new viewer, then if you're broadcasting mass messages out to anybody, so let's say you're a real estate agent and you're broadcasting messages out to people who just want to buy or sell a home, and that's just people who, let's just say you're targeting an ad to people who own a home, right? And you're saying, do you want to buy or sell your home? That's a mass broadcasted message, whereas you could do catered messages for people specifically just wanting to buy, and then people specifically just wanting to sell. And then from there, you can cater your message and your content even better. So really it comes down to a lack of goal planning and message planning within the ad, and then the landing page or the follow through itself. Or the offer usually just isn't a good offer. I could use some advice on digital marketing from amateur comedian clients. Oh man, I mean, I've never done a comedian before, but I mean, really what you're trying to do is just make that comedian stand out. So it's using, or really capturing, number one, a bunch of footage, as much footage as possible of that comedian, and then really, creating a bunch of short clips, or what I've been taught recently by one of my new hires, a new word is called snackable items, meaning it's little tiny pieces of content that make the viewer want to see more. Then outside of that, those comedians need, if they're really that good and they have a following, they need some sort of subscription model built into their program. To where, they're either doing it on Spotify or they're doing it on some sort of mass media broadcasting system where they can start generating revenue through subscriptions. They could even do it on YouTube now. So, it's kind of up to how you want to, but, and that's really more their responsibility than yours. But when it comes down to the marketing side of it, again, it's really just taking their content, their best pieces, and showing people who they are. So reaching as many people as possible, and then making sure that you're targeting people who already have an interest in comedy. So people who are already actively looking at meme pages and looking at other comedians or watching Comedy Central, stuff like that. You're targeting the right audiences to build it first. Then once you start to build your base audience, that'll help you get more organic reach to other people who might have an interest later, saving you budget and time. So just some notes for you guys before we continue going really quickly. Before we do, just do me a favor, if you just joined or if you're recently joining, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button so that way other people can get notified that this video is going on. Also, do me a favor and leave your name if you haven't already done it yet, just introducing yourself so I know who you are. The better I get to know you, the better it is for you, really, because then we get to build a relationship and we can potentially help each other. But next announcement would be, we have just we've just came to a conclusion and decided that we are going to launch the Digital Marketing School 2.0 course towards the middle to end of May of this year. Okay, so the Digital Marketing School 1.0 version, currently we're doing an update in there, so we're going to be updating the Facebook and Instagram content just to make it better until we transition into our 2.0 in May. Okay, in the 2.0 in May, we're doing quizzes, we're doing tests, we're revamping this entire course, reshooting all of our videos to make it better quality, because obviously we have better equipment now. So we're going to reshoot all the videos, we're going to remake all the documents, really just reorganize this entire platform and make it better for the user and easier for you guys to even do a better job and learn quicker what you need to know to start your agency. So we're really excited about that. Tons of really cool developments. I mean, we've been hiring people like crazy to pick up on workload and really just to expand the team, not to mention, working on internal operations and processes. So it's an exciting year for us at Serial Entrepreneur and with Rest and Bar. So I can't wait to see what's going to turn out or how this year is actually going to turn out, because we expect to easily hit the 7-figure mark as long as we keep growing at the rate that we're growing this year. So I'm really excited for that. But let's go ahead and get back into some of these questions. I hope those quick updates are useful for you guys. If you have any questions about the 2.0, or if you have questions about the 1.0 that we're still selling, because it is still useful, it is still helping people to this day land clients. I've had, I think, 3 students this week shout out in the private group about new clients that they're landing. That's just 3 of the newer students that are getting clients. The older students now, what's funny is, like, they're less active now in the group. They're still active, but they're less active because of the fact that they're so busy with clients and trying to grow their business and stay on top of learning and everything like that, that it's hard for them to stay. But all of the new people who start coming in, they're very, very active, right? Because they're just now fresh and getting into it. But the new people, they comment very, very quickly about how, landing clients and what they're doing with their campaigns. So the private group alone is really a great place for people, even if you've taken courses before. Although I still recommend you take more than one program, because it's not like when you go to college you take more than one course to learn how to do something, right? It only makes sense. Anyways, the people who are just getting into it, seriously, they are taking off and they're following instruction, because it's a step-by-step program that teaches you how to do that. But anyways, to get off of the course, I don't need to sell you guys on that. You guys aren't here for that. Let's go through the questions and get through what you guys are going through with your agencies. But just know that I'm very excited about the 2.0 course. We are like crazy, insanely excited to be able to put this together for you guys. And just to be honest with you guys, and before we move on, I'll say this one last thing and we're done. I never saw myself being a teacher, and I never saw myself starting an online program where people came to me to learn. So this is insane, and this is the first time we've ever built a school. So I want you guys to understand the difference. This is not marketing. Building a school is not marketing. That's building a school. It's a completely different business than really marketing. Marketing, the business itself, is just one of the processes to make the business successful, but the business itself is a school. So this is my first attempt at ever building a school, and we've had outstanding success, really, from the results that we've been able to bring to other people and how all of the feedback we've gotten about the program. So I can't wait to put together 2.0 for you guys and really show you what we're really capable of now, because it's going to be so much better. I can't wait for you guys. We're putting so much planning into this. It's going to be insane. But let's get back into this. Also from Colombia, Luis, what's going on, man? Happy to have you. Hey Jordan, what should be my starting price for my basic offer all the way to best? This is for a dental client. Balejar, all right, what should be my starting price for my basic offer all the way to the best? So here's Balejar, here's the thing. I don't recommend setting like a price and then for that price you do this many posts, you do this many blogs, this many email blasts. I don't recommend doing it like that. I recommend setting price ranges. So like $1,000 or really $1,500, $25 to $3,000, then $5,000, then $10,000. And then what you do is you use those as your selling points, really, or really for where you're going to build your campaigns into, right? But the budget can, or the however much they're going to spend, really, the campaign cost can be fluctuated up or down from there. Like, you don't have to stick at just $3,000 because that's all you, like, you should be trying to sell as much as possible. You never want to leave money on the table in a sales game. All right, that's, I mean, this is one of the things that I was taught very early on, was never leave money on the table. If you can see an opportunity to sell a client more, and this isn't, I'm not saying it to do it unjustly. Like, if you can't do anything with that budget, if you can't justify that budget, do not take the money from them and just don't do any, like, just take money from them. That's not proper business etiquette. What you should do, though, is if there is room for that campaign to grow and the budget to grow, you should be trying to take on that budget. So never leave money on the table. So that being said, you can't really just set a price and just stick to that. If you see, okay, well, we could get another $500 out of them for ad spend, well, then you should do that, and you should up the budget to $3,500. You shouldn't just stick at $3,000 because that's the package you created. And that's the thing. That's my price range. And then again, what I want to stress to you guys is it does matter where you live, because I do know that we have an international audience. Like, we have people from, like you guys have seen, Colombia, all over the place. But it depends on where you live. So what I'm doing is, or what I'm suggesting to you guys who live in a different area, you need to do comparative analysis of the exchange rate. So look at the US dollar, how much I'm telling you to charge. If I'm telling you to charge, let's say $1,000, you need to go do a comparison of that $1,000 in exchange to your currency and see what the value of that is. That's what you should be charging in your area, just so you guys are aware. Because people are like, I can't charge $1,000 in my area, and I'm like, okay, so then you should scale it down to what does make sense economically in your area, just so you guys know that. But, and again, Ballyhard, it just, again, it matters on what you're actually selling them. Like, are you selling them social media? Because that's going to cost different than email marketing and automation, which will cost different from web development and SEO and PPC. All of them cost different prices. So I can't just give you one price. Finishing up my last year at Coastal Carolina. Nice. I haven't ever been out that way to Coastal Carolina, but I've definitely been to that area of South Carolina. So, golly, it jumps all over the place sometimes. Then I got to scroll all the way back up. And just so you guys know, this thread is already full of questions. So all that I ask is if you want me to guarantee that I do answer your question, because even in an hour, like a lot of the time I'm not able to get to all of the questions. Otherwise, I'd have to sit on here for 7 hours. So if you want me to guarantee that I answer your question, what I do say is if you leave a super chat, the minimum you can leave is $1. Like that's all YouTube will, the least YouTube will let you leave. But if you want me to guarantee that I answer your question, please just make sure to leave a super chat, and I guarantee that before I get off, I will make sure to take extra time to answer your question if I need to. But that's just, and not saying that you guys have to. I'm going to try and answer as many of these as I can, but just letting you know how this kind of works, because it's impossible for me to sometimes. As agency, do you have to post for your clients? I think that's supposed to say, as an agency, do you have to post for your clients? And yes, that's typically what you're doing, is taking over the pages. You're managing the posting, content creations, planning, scheduling, all of that. Shopify or WooCommerce, WordPress for a local e-commerce site? I would say Shopify, honestly, but unless they have 1,000 different products and it's like a really big store and they have a lot of inventory, then I would say maybe check WooCommerce. I've heard WooCommerce is better for big industrial type of products, or not products, but businesses, where Shopify is easier for the, just people like entrepreneurs like us, like just starting up small mom and pop e-commerce stores. Getting real estate leads for Spanish speakers in USA. I'm not sure what you're wanting to answer there. So one thing, guys, I love that you guys want me to answer your questions, and I would love to answer them for you, but I need you guys to be very detailed when you write out these questions, because a lot of the time I read them and it's just like getting real estate leads for Spanish speakers in USA. And what I know what it is, you guys are typing in something when I'm like after I say something, but you have to realize by the time I get to the questions, it's maybe 5-10 minutes later sometimes. So you got to be very specific with your questions, just so I know what you're talking about. How much should you charge for lead generation? Lead generation just depends. What's the niche? Because auto lead generation versus attorney lead generation versus restaurant lead generation, they're all different price ranges based upon how much it costs, how much traffic there is, what size of audience you have. So like, for example, even from city to city, it's going to be a different cost. So like, lead generation for attorneys in Atlanta is going to be different than lead generation for attorneys in, say, New York, because New York is much more populated. There's probably more attorneys there, so I would say it's probably more expensive there. So you have to look at each different area. I can't just tell you how much. There is no one cost. How you would view dentists as a niche? Curious about how you would view dentists as a niche. They're perfectly fine. I mean, dentists spend on marketing all the time. So what you want to do is find a practice that has what the best practices to go after. The ones that are really spending money are the ones that have several doctors at the practice. So if you look at their practice and they have like one doctor hosted on their website and that's it, that's a very small practice. They're probably not spending much at all. But if you look at it and they have 4 to 6 dentists that work there, that's a big practice that's spending a lot of money. I mean, you got to think they're paying 6 dentists. The average salary for a dentist is probably like $100,000 to $150,000, somewhere in between there, at least in the U.S. So that's like $600,000 right there just in salaries for those 6 people. That's not considering all of the assistants and all of the not the admins at the front of the office, the assistants in the back helping the dentist. There's all these people they're paying. So that's how you want to look at things like that and determine how large is this business. And you can do that in several different ways by looking at what what products they're selling, trying to guesstimate about how much sales they're doing per month, looking at how large their staff is and how much they would be paying that staff to operate. And you can do that by looking up average salaries. There's several, and that's what I want you guys to start to do when you're in, or when you're trying to become an entrepreneur. You have to figure out how to reverse engineer a lot of things and kind of think outside the box to come in backwards into an answer. Basically, you don't want to think of it head on. You want to come into it backwards and say, okay, well, how can I figure out, well, this business spends money on salaries every year. Okay, well, that will give me at least an idea of costs that they're having to cover. So that means if they're not making that revenue, then they're probably not going to be a successful business. They're not going to be hiring on all these people, right? So you have to really kind of think backwards into a lot of these situations. Do you have a email script that you send to potential clients? I just can't seem to close. I actually have a video. So Edison, if you're on desktop, I can't figure out how to do it on mobile yet because it keeps just searching everything on YouTube and I can't get it to just search my channel. But if you go on desktop and go to my channel page, like my actual channel page, you'll see like the magnifying glass right below the little channel art section. If you click that and type in cold emails, I believe we have a whole video on my channel about cold emails, or just go to the YouTube homepage and type in Serial Entrepreneur cold emails, and that should pull it up that way. But yeah, go watch that video. Quick question, what do you call yourself to your clients? Do you say, hi, I'm Jordan, I'm a marketer, or I own an agency, or do you introduce yourself as something else? That's actually a decent question. So, or a good question. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's a good question. So when you go in, it's kind of what makes you feel comfortable and what is going to be the right approach to that person. I always like to go into every situation when I'm selling and read it differently no matter where I'm at, and try to make an average or an educated guess as to what this person might be like, right? You're almost stereotyping. So, for example, if I'm thinking an attorney, if I'm about to go see an attorney, I'm probably going to think, all right, they're probably going to be wearing a suit. They're probably going to be very busy, very smart, very analytical, type A personality usually, right? So you're trying to guess what that person's going to be like so you can try to figure out how you're going to approach them. Versus if someone is, and I'm not saying it to talk down on someone, but if someone's more in the blue collar industry, then they're more relaxed typically in their work environment. They're not as uppity about how they have to be. And that's not, again, not a good thing, not a bad thing. It's neither. It's just how the world works, I guess. But if you're going into a situation where it is more blue collar, you might not want to wear a suit into that meeting, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is I like to cater to the person. So if it's like an attorney, I might go in more professional and say, oh yeah, I own this marketing agency, because they're used to super professional instances. That's all they do every day, right? Versus someone who's more blue collar, I'm going to go in and say, hey, yeah, my name's Jordan. I'm a digital marketing strategist. Basically, we make people look really good online. That's it. You're simplifying everything. You don't want to complicate or overthink. And a lot of people do this. They overthink the entire process and they focus on things that don't really matter. Like, I don't know what to name my business. So what? Forget all about, that doesn't matter. Your business doesn't, nobody cares about the business name. What they care about is, are you bringing them results and bringing them in more customers and more money? If you're not doing that, they don't care about your name. And even if you are doing that, a lot of the time, they don't care about your business name. So stop focusing on those things and focus on what's going to drive in revenue, what's going to bring in more sales. And that is going out, landing clients, but not only that, learning digital marketing well enough to that way you are able to produce the campaigns that you promise these people that you're going to be able to produce. Let me see, where are we? Quick question. What do you call yourself? Oh, no, sorry, that was just the same one. Let me scroll down. Email script to capture clients. We just went through that one, so cool. Check. Gnostic Ape says, yo, Jordan, what would your approach be to Facebook ads to target enterprise targets? Gnostic Ape, could you be more specific? What do you mean by enterprise targets? Do you mean like large corporations? What do you mean specifically? Looking to start a business. I'm wanting your course. My partner wants Billie Jean. Any thought? Mario, I'm going to tell you straight up. I like Billy Jean's course. I bought it a while ago just to see what was in his as well. And not to mention, if Billy's going to be able to teach me anything, which of course he was able to. And that's the thing. You'll learn from all of us, I think. I'm not going to say Ty Lopez's course is trash because he does have good quality information in there, but I don't think enough of it was practical. And that's what my course did. We tried to go more the practical route where it was information that you could look at and apply directly to the campaigns that you're trying to build, walking you through Facebook and how to set up the pages and the ad manager account and all of that. So it's really just, it's kind of up to you. Who do you like better? Who do you feel has a better style or a better approach to teaching that you kind of vibe with? And really what I would tell you is get both. Because one of my biggest things is people who think, or one of my biggest pet peeves really since starting doing all this, is people who think that they're just going to be able to take one course and that's all they're ever going to do. One of my most successful students, Kayla, she has now probably taken, I think, about 5 or 6 programs to get where she's at today. And now she's on the verge of trying to hit $100,000 per month. And she thinks that she's going to be able to do that before the end of this year. So that's the thing, is you have to understand that it's not just about one course. It's about what's the quality of the course and then what content is provided to you in that course. Billy Jean's going to teach you a lot about ad creation, and he's very good at creating really good, really unique stories and ad campaigns. We are catering our course not only towards Facebook ads and stuff like that, but we're also starting to cater it more towards creating content, because that's what we found we're really good at, is creating stories and helping people with information, right? And figuring out how to build that information and cater that information so that way it shows up well in search results. We're making that even better now. Like, dude, I can't wait for 6 months from now for y'all to see our blog. Oh, it's gonna look so good. You and that's the thing. It's a growing process. Everything really is a growing process. It takes time. People who think that you're just going to take a program and then all of a sudden you're gonna go out there and run or build your agency to function as if it were a $1 million agency. You don't understand how business works. That's not how it works. You have to start from ground level, bare bones guerrilla marketing style agency where you're putting in a lot of extra work and build all the way up to where you're finally at that top tier level marketing agency. You won't understand until you start building your business, or if you're at that point you probably already do understand. But really, again guys, it's not just something you go out and you're gonna knock grand slams out of the park all the time and that's it. You're going to have failures. You're going to have things that you have to overall improve. Like our processes internally, now that we're going through them, they were crap. And they were making us spend more money because we were having to crap. No! I'm still here, guys, I promise. I forgot to press record. Those of you who have seen this happen before, you're well aware that Jordan sometimes forgets to press record on the camera, and this one you have to even when you press record, it'll stop recording. It's not fun, guys, I'm telling you. Hang on. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I'm going to press record now. Cool. All right, so I think that pretty much answers that question right there. I'm not going to go any more into that. I feel I've done so much for a restaurant I'm working with. Don't get me wrong, people are going crazy over the content. Lots of exposure. I'm shooting there soon. Any tips on changing it up? So, first question mine would be, what is it about the fact that made you say I feel I've done so much? Or do you feel like you're not getting paid enough? Or is it you just feel like you're doing all this work and you're not getting results? To change it up, really, the biggest thing is, are you doing remarketing? Creating content is great, and building great content, obviously that's going to help, again, like you said, with exposure and engagement. But if you're not remarketing to those audiences that you're creating that content and sending to, then there's no point in really doing the first step. Unless they're every day engaging and coming back and sharing it with their friends, it's not really doing anything extra for you, right? You're always looking for that little bit of extra, and so that's where the remarketing really is going to come in and help you build that audience. So what you should either start doing is taking that content you're creating and making sure that you spend a little bit on each post that you do to remarket it to people who have recently liked or engaged with posts, right? And then not only that, but finding new traffic in the area by spending on cold traffic style ads. But then after that, following up with messenger campaigns and offers and doing giveaways and specials and cool videos and stuff like that. You know, just anything that you can do to get people engaged, but then setting up ad campaigns to remarket people and drive them into that location. And then checking your offline conversion tracking to see if people are actually coming in from people who have engaged with the Facebook post. What do I take to meetings? So I would take the digital marketing audit, and actually let me back up. It depends on what meeting. Are you going to the initial info search meeting, which is where you're gathering information about their business and their goals to go put together a proposal? Or are you talking about the proposal meeting where you're actually going in and pitching the proposal that you put together for them? I like to go in and do an info meeting first. A lot of people think that you can just, and look, I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying it's impossible to sell someone. What I would say about that approach where you just go in and pitch a proposal, you don't even do an information meeting and get to know who they are, what I would say is you're going to leave money on the table, or you're going to overcharge them, or you're going to leave something out of the plan that you could have added in, and then basically you're going to have to go back to that business owner and either add it in or take it away, depending on whether you added in something extra or didn't. So it just makes it complicated. So sorry. Yeah, again, it matters on what meeting you're going to. If it's the info meeting, I would suggest taking a notebook or computer and pen, piece of paper. And also the digital marketing audit. After that, I would say if you're in the proposal meeting, you need to bring obviously the proposal, the computer. I'd bring several copies of the proposal. You can bring your contract in, your terms or your agreement contract that you have them sign if you do a contract, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not really much you need to bring with you. Outside of that, it's you need to be prepared. It's more about being prepared and then being fun and engaging and making people have a good time. Like, because if you just sit there like this and try to sell I swear to God, no one's gonna buy from you, like, ever. So just be engaging, be fun, but really outside of that, there's not much you need to bring, just the information that you're trying to show them or something to gather information from them. How should I contact my local dentist clinic? I don't know who the owner is, so I want to get a meeting, but if I cold call, I might just talk to dentists working there. Okay, well, so here's the thing. That's Balihar is called the gatekeeper complex. And really what that means is you have to get past the gatekeeper, which is all of the people there who don't matter. And also what I would suggest doing, and a lot of the time this is what you just have to do, is call in and say, hey, who's the owner of this business? And then hang up, or if you want to, you can hang up and call back later and then, you know, approach with the business owner's name. Instead of going, hey, who's the business owner? Okay, cool, I want to talk to this person. You know, hang up or just say, thank you, that's all I needed to know for now. I'll call back later, thanks, bye. And then you hang up and then you call back later and say, hey, is so-and-so there? That'll kind of help with that, at least getting the business owner's name. But getting past the business owner, I mean, that's just a matter of sales, and that's a matter of really overcoming objections. So taking the information that the gatekeeper gives you and either following up to reach out to that doctor, like, oh, the doctor's not in, well, you'll have to call back around 6, and then following up at 6 to talk to that doctor, or, you know, just saying, coming at that assistant in a different way. But that's why I don't like cold calling, because I would much rather go into that office and see that person face to face and talk with them and give them some information. Just if you're going to approach a dentist, here's kind of my opinion. Don't go around lunch hours, don't go in the mornings, don't go in the mid-afternoons, go later in the day. Later in the day is the best time to get any type of doctor's office if you're going to go in there, because usually that's when customers or clients or patients aren't setting up any more appointments and they're about to get out of there, or they close at like 4 or 5, so you can go in around 5 or 6 and try and catch them on a late day. You know, that's really the best way to get doctors and dentists. Outside of that, you're going to have to try networking. They're going to have to be actively searching, so you'll have to be running ad campaigns and show up and search. There's several different ways to get those people, but cold calling is it's just not my preferred method. You know, that's why I like networking. I like going out and meeting people and getting people to introduce me to people that they know. That's how I've always landed clients, and then from there we built from word of mouth. And then this year we're going to be integrating ad campaigns and start increasing our search engine optimization locally in Atlanta. But we're just not worried about taking on more clients right now. We have enough work on our plate. I've implemented videos, photos, etc. There are so many items I can shoot from menu and lifestyle shots. So again, it's all about the campaign though. I mean, the videos and photos are great and lifestyle shots are great, but you have to have a goal, right? The goal is to get them to come in. So are you putting that messaging in there? And not so directly where that's all the message is ever about, right? You can obviously just show video without it actually saying, hey, come in and buy something. But are you actually are you running campaigns to those people to bring them in the door? And if you are running special offers or things like that, really ask yourself and ask the business owner, is it an offer worth coming in for? Because again, with restaurants, a lot of the time is they're not making an offer that's enticing enough to drive people in the door. So make sure you're asking yourself those questions. Gnostic Ape says, FYI, anyone who is on the fence about Jordan's course the way I was, don't be. It's incredibly worth the price of admission. Thanks, Gnostic Ape. I always appreciate kind thoughts and words about the program. Jasmine says, Jasmine. Oh, I guess that's back when, see, that was like 20 minutes ago, I think. That's when I asked people to say their name. I was like, Jasmine said her name. Balihar is here. Balihar Singh. What should I take to meetings? I just answered that. Ryan from Cincinnati. John Thomas, aka Gnostic Ape. Please answer my question. I'm pretty sure I just did. Hey Jordan, Shane. Oh, hey Jordan, my name is Shane. Okay, what's up, Shane? Angel, what's going on, man? The think 2.0 should have more puppets. Let me know. I've got it done. What? Hubbard, I promise you, he is adamant about getting that question answered. I got you, buddy. What advice would you give to a person that is skeptical about opening an agency? Matthew Hurt, here is my advice to people, because I actually had, seriously, my cousin, who is, I think he's 20 years old now. My cousin, who's 20 years old, texted me the other day. He's like, hey, I'm ready to get my entrepreneur game going. I'm ready to get my life together. What do I need to do stuff like you? And I was like, and so we talked on the phone, and I was like, look, here's what you want to do before you really know if you're going to be interested in digital marketing. And before I say this, when you go through what I'm about to tell you to do, don't let it discourage you because of the big words used and how it can seem confusing at first. Because trust me, when I first started looking at what search engine optimization was, I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like, I was like, I just thought you just go on there and search for things. No, there's a whole like process behind all of this, right? So don't let it intimidate you. But my advice to you is to go look up my concept that I've created called SWEPs. All right, and these are the core principles of digital marketing. And not starting an agency, okay, the core concepts of digital marketing. So once you learn these core concepts plus CM, which stands for content marketing, once you learn these core concepts, you're able to take it and apply it to any kind of online business you want to create. An agency runs online businesses, so same thing, right? But this will also apply to e-commerce businesses, affiliate, if you want to start a personal brand like myself, like my YouTube channel, which we also have a course on that. I don't know if a lot of you know about this. We're about to start doing we have a course on starting a personal brand. We're about to start promoting that a lot more, but it teaches you how to start a YouTube channel, blog, stuff like that, and turn it into a brand. So, you know, that's the thing. What I recommend is learning digital marketing and learning those core concepts, which are SWEPs. So social media marketing, I was about to skip over it. Social media marketing and ads, web marketing and design, email marketing and automation, pay-per-click marketing, which is also known as Google Ads, and then search engine optimization. CM, and then I always say plus CM because content marketing, which is CM, is a part of all of those major 5 pillars, right? And it's its own little concept within the marketing space. So what I recommend is learning as much as you can about those 5 pillars plus content marketing. And then what you want to do after you learn about each one individually is try to figure out how they all intermingle. Where do they all fit into the sales process, right? Would email marketing, for example, be considered something for cold marketing, like cold marketing? No, because you can only remarket with email. You can only email someone once you've been given permission to email them, right? So it's only remarketing. But if you didn't know that, you might go into it thinking, okay, well, maybe email marketing is, you know, a cold version of marketing. It's just not, right? So understanding those 5 concepts, once you get an understanding of them individually, try to see if you can figure out how they integrate into one type of marketing campaign. Once you understand that, then you need to ask yourself, is this something that still interests me? Do I really understand what I'm trying to do here? And if not completely, that's okay, but do you have at least a general basic understanding of what you're trying to do? Once you understand that, then you can really determine, okay, I want to start an agency. Then the second question that you have to ask yourself before you actually start is, do you really want to be an entrepreneur? Because a lot of the time people say, yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur. A lot of people, like my cousin yesterday, he called me, he's like, yeah, I want to be the boss. I want to make my own business, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, dude, that's great. But everybody said, like, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to be the boss. Like, until they realize what being the boss means. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress sometimes. It's a lot of having to figure things out for yourselves, not relying on a template to get you through something, because a lot of the time there is no template, especially with digital marketing. A lot of it, people think there's a template for everything, and there's not. It's coming up with stuff on your own, being intuitive enough to reverse engineer things so that way you can figure out, okay, this makes the most sense, okay? And that's the thing. Once you understand that about entrepreneurship, that it's not just easy peasy, it's sunshine and rainbows all the time, that there's actually in the first 2 to 3 years a lot of stress and not what you want, and things happening that just, like for example, a lot of extra work. Like I'm working way more than I want to right now because I know that in 2 years I won't have to. Like I've actually come off of how much I was working since, like when I first started, I was doing, dude, the hours per week then was ridiculous, like seriously 70 to 80 hours per week. But I've come off that a lot, obviously, but I'm still working a lot more than I want to be, obviously, right? Like I would rather work 10 hours per week. That's what I eventually want to work towards, right? And you get the same amount done with that 10 hours, but just because you've built processes and teams in place to take care of most of what you have to do for you, right? But understand that the first 3 years is very difficult. It's not something that's easy peasy. There is a lot of things there, like even for me, guys, that's what I've never built a 7-figure business before, so there's a lot for me to learn. But that's the cool thing really about, that's kind of the cool part about the whole experience with you guys joining my program, if you do join, is that you're getting experience from someone who's growing, who's maybe just like a step ahead of where you're at, or a few steps ahead of where you're at. I've recently went through the small scale building stages, and I have a process in place to teach you guys for that. We're growing now to that medium level stage and almost high level stage of business where, we're going to have all kinds of internal softwares and processes that we're learning about and going to be able to bring information to you guys about as you scale your agency. So it's just for me, it's a really cool experience. And I think that's kind of why a lot of people relate with my program, is because you guys are getting information from me right where I just left, right? So let me get on to the next question. What's your cold call script? I don't use a cold call script because I do not do a lot of cold calling. We have a cold calling script in the course. It's what I was using when I was in Jacksonville, and because I did do cold calling at one time when I was in Jacksonville, because I wasn't from Jacksonville, so it's kind of hard to network when you don't know anybody. Obviously, I built a network, but when I first got there, I had to cold call. That was the only option I had. So we uploaded a cold calling script into the course, but I don't have anything out on the general publics about the cold calling script. We do have some cold calling email templates out there. Again, you can find those on my channel. What exactly is social media marketing agency? It's actually a digital marketing agency. I use SMMA because the keyword's more relevant than digital marketing agency for the time being, at least on YouTube. More people in the space know that because Ty Lopez has made the term SMMA this awful term that people think means like what is it that people say? How do I do SMMA? You don't do SMMA, you do SMM, you do social media marketing, you don't do social media marketing agency. I think that's my favorite question. How do I do SMMA? Like, no, you don't do SMMA. And really, you're not doing SMMA at all. You're doing DMA, digital marketing agency. Because if digital marketing takes into consideration email, search engine, pay-per-click, social, web, content, everything, right? Whereas social media marketing is just the social media platforms. So, but really all it is guys, is every business out there needs marketing. Like every single business out there has to have marketing. If you don't have marketing, you don't exist as a business, or if you do, you won't for long, because you have to get your name out in front of customers. Even the best businesses, that's why they continually spend. That's why Coca-Cola is spending every single year millions and millions of dollars, because they have to spend on marketing to reach more people. Even though everybody out there in the world knows who Coca-Cola is, if they stop marketing, I guarantee you, it is a fact, their sales will decrease, because they are not reaching as many people and keeping their brand at the forefront of their audiences and of the people who drink soda, right? So think about that, guys. Every business needs marketing, just like every business needs an insurance agent for business insurance. They might need an attorney for business, law type stuff. They might need, all kinds of different things that businesses need. That is just another one of those things that businesses need. Danny Molta says, I have a question. I see somebody left a question down there, a super chat, so I'm going to jump down there really quick and get that. How effective are Facebook ads for HVAC, construction, and roofing? So HVAC, I've heard actually, well, when I was working back in Jacksonville, actually, Facebook ads and digital marketing in general worked really well for HVAC. But here's what I want you guys to understand. HVAC, construction, and roofing, you can do those types of campaigns, but I would do them more on the remarketing side. And the reason being is if I'm trying to repair my roof, or if I'm trying to get something done with my HVAC system or get construction done, whatever, I'm not going to Facebook to find that business, right? Like, ask yourself. For a lot of local businesses that cater services and products to a local market, when I'm trying to find that specific product, where do 90% of you go? Google. Like 90% of the time, Google. And you search there first. So, that being said, you shouldn't expect great conversion from cold traffic campaigns on Facebook, right? What you should do is take all of the people who visit your website or engage with your Facebook page, right, or specific videos or content on your page, and build audiences out of those people and remarket to those people. Those are the people that you want to be spending ad campaign dollars on with Facebook, in my opinion. You should spend more of your ad campaign dollars either on pay-per-click ads or search engine optimization, so that way that company shows up better locally, which means they're going to get more traffic to their site, ultimately meaning more customers. So Facebook ads are great, but again, I recommend using them from a remarketing perspective than just going out and trying, or if it's not for remarketing, if you want to use it more on the front end side of things, do a lot of your budget into the brand awareness and reach campaign and just do it consistently. Okay, so if you're going to take that approach where you're just going to spam the market with brand awareness and reach campaigns and make sure that you show up on everybody's Facebook feed for HVAC repair, blah blah blah, in the local market, you need to do that consistently. You can't just do it for a month and say, okay, we're done, we did it, but we didn't get any calls. Well, that was 1 month. All right, do it 6 months. And by the time you've been doing that 6 months, covering the market, blanketing the market, everyone in that area is going to know that business, right? Every single person in that area will know who that business is. So when it comes time to call, who do you think they're going to think of? That business. So again, it's all about the strategy. You really have to think about the strategy, and you can't just look at what are we going to do this 1 month. You have to look 3 to 6 months out. Good marketing is planning, right? Not just looking at what we're going to do in the short term, but how are we going to achieve long-term goals? Well, to achieve long-term goals, you can't just look at 1 month or 1 month at a time. You have to look at the entire picture, right? So that's what a lot of people do. They don't look at the entire picture for when it comes to building the campaign or the ads or the automation. We look at the sales funnel, or the sales pipeline. How long does it take, or not the sales cycle? How long does it take to convert a customer in the sales cycle with your? So how long does it take for them to initially see the brand, follow up? How many days in between them coming in and setting the appointment and then purchasing? right? Or if there's not an appointment stage, just seeing everything, following up, getting on the email list, getting on the messenger list, whatever, and then purchasing. How long does that take? Because that's what your campaigns should be catered around. Your remarketing campaigns, your email automations, all of that should be catered around that window, and then a little bit past that window. And then once people kind of go out of that window, right, where they should have bought somewhere in here but they didn't, then you need to have other campaigns that are built to follow up with those people at later on in the campaign, in your marketing campaign. Hold on, this guy says what? 20K subs and 40 viewers. All right, so Joseph Ruiz, I'll put it to you like this. Go watch Ty Lopez's live streams. He's got millions and has, I think, like 500, 600 on his live streams. So if you put my numbers in the millions, how many people do you think I'd have? Okay, people just like to talk and they don't know what they're talking about. They have no clue. It's what makes me laugh is people who try to act like they know what they're talking about. And it's like, you just don't know. I found your channel just today. Out of all the SMMA, this was the only one I trusted. I'm on board, man. And just to prove my point even further there, buddy. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. Eye of the Yosemite. It looks like that's kind of like Yosemite, but it's Yosemite. Eye of the Yosemite. Eddie Cowan, what's the most important thing to do to help a realtor get sales? I think, again, Eddie Cowan, a lot of it is being that top of mind awareness type of business. So it comes down to understanding the process, number one. Where are people finding homes? Where are they searching for homes? How are they getting to the site? And then remarketing the site properly. A lot of people, that's really the issue, is most people don't know how to build proper remarketing campaigns. And they don't focus on the remarketing campaigns. All they focus on is the top level, high level, let's drive leads by giving someone a free this or a free offer. And if you're just running your campaigns based on offers that you give to people, you're just going to get a bunch of people who want super discounted or free stuff. So what you have to look at is, okay, how are people getting to the site? Are they using search? Are they coming there from social? Are they coming there from someone else? How are they getting to the website? How can we remarket to them on social media platforms, with email, with messaging, whatever? And then what do we need to actually give? What information, what type of content do we need to give them to sell? So with realtors, I think the biggest issue is most people aren't setting up campaigns that sell, meaning you're not targeting the right types of people. So if you're looking at sellers, you're trying to find people, if you're trying to find people to sell their home with you, that means you're trying to go out there and find people interested in selling their home, right? So you need to be giving sellers content about selling a home. And if you're giving that seller content to people who are interested in buying a home, then you're mixing the messaging. They're not interested in your ad. So breaking apart your audiences inside of Facebook when you create your custom audiences into buyers and sellers, and making sure that you're actually sending the right content to the right type of people. And also not doing what every other realtor does. One of the best examples I can give is every realtor out there goes out there and spends all this money and time to create a buyer guide and a seller guide. Why? Every realtor, every single realtor has one. Why? Because they all work with a broker or a brokerage, and that brokerage is going to give them a buyer and seller guide that they've created because they have millions and millions of dollars, and that's all they do anyways, is build that kind of material, marketing material for the brokerage, right? So that being said, don't do stuff that people always do. Do stuff that's unique and fun. Make sure that the realtors have a face. That's the other thing that I feel a lot of people kind of mess up on, is they take a face away from a business. In today's day, people want to engage with people. No matter how much we are on social, when it comes to engaging with someone, we don't want to have to deal with a robot necessarily. We're not 100% comfortable that they are able to take care of our every need yet, where a person is much more likely to understand and comprehend what it is that we want. So that would be my feedback. Make sure that realtor is seen and that they have a face to the business. Herbert, I already answered your question. You're still typing, what should I take to meetings? Can I connect a Facebook pixel to more than one ad account? I don't believe so. I believe each pixel is only allowed to stick to one ad account. Is there any are there any private ways to message so I can get more details for the course? Danny Multa, you can message us on Facebook Business Manager, or Business. You can message us on our Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/serial entrepreneur and you can send us a message there. Yeah, dude, this kid, I honestly, like, I was like, oh crap. This kid messaged me earlier this week, Jair. He was like, yo, I dropped out of college to do social media marketing and take your course. I was like, oh crap. I was like, your parents are going to hate me. Like, I just felt bad. He was like, yeah, my parents were kind of upset about it. I was like, great, now your parents are going to hate me. But here's the thing, Jair. Take it seriously. Commit. Understand there's going to be failure. Understand it's not going to be 6 months and you're making 100K a month or even necessarily 10K a month. Okay? I'm not saying that you can't. What I'm saying is don't try and set a standard for yourself that seems impossible. Don't try to say, okay, I'm going to hit 100K. That's not impossible, but that's a goal that's very, very, very unlikely to reach. It's a good thing to set hard goals for yourself and goals that are hard to attain because it makes you work harder, right? But don't set an unreachable goal. There is a such thing as an unreachable goal or an unrealistic type of goal. Set something that's reasonable. It makes sense. That's attainable. If you set goals that are just completely unattainable, it doesn't make sense to set goals then. So set goals for yourself. Understand that there's going to be some failure, but it's going to be a process where if you stick through this, that's the thing, guys, that I want you to also understand is if you stick through something like this and you really go through all the hard times where it sucked, and you weren't getting the results you wanted, you had customers maybe even leaving bad reviews because you didn't do a good job for some of them, but you kept going anyways, you rebranded yourself, you renamed yourself, and then all of a sudden, you know, a year or two later, you're running an agency that's pulling in, let's just say 200 grand a year. You're going to be really, really happy with yourself, number one, proud of yourself, number two, and it proves to yourself that you're capable of doing something and seeing it through no matter how hard it got. And that's really what I'm appreciative of with all of this is because, guys, this wasn't, number one, this wasn't my first business. Number two, I did not succeed in all of my first businesses. This is probably like, I don't even know, like my 8th or 9th, maybe 10th business now. And the first several of them I didn't do well on. Several of them I did well on. I just didn't make as much money as I wanted to or scale it as large as I wanted to. And now I'm finally at the point where, you know, all of this time was invested in learning how to build a business, entrepreneurship, sales, marketing, digital marketing, building this online course, building an audience in a community. And it's taught me a lot, but, you know, it took me several years to get to the point where I built a 6-figure and then a 7-figure, approaching 7-figure business. So just understand that, guys, you know, the average person trying to do this can do it, but you have to commit. You have to understand what commitment is, and it means giving up other things like partying and hanging out with friends and playing video games and watching Netflix and doing all this other stuff that's not going to get you where you want to go. Hubbard, I don't know how, like, what you want me to, how, like, I answered your question, just so you know. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. So see, we have all these questions that I wasn't even able to get to, and we're at 57 minutes. So, sorry guys, but I'm not going to be able to answer all of the rest of the questions. I'm really sorry. Sorry, I was reading some of these questions just to make sure there wasn't anything that was just I had to answer. Okay. I'm sorry, guys, if I didn't answer your question. I do really feel bad, but that's why I always say if you need me to answer a question and it's something you need to know some information about now, you can always feel free to super chat, and I will guarantee that I answer it. But sorry. Thanks, Jorge. I appreciate that. What I'm trying to say, guys, is it's time for the marketing agency Padawans, the mentorship course giveaway. Sahil, and that's why I told you, man, I've already been on for an hour. I say this every time. If you want me to guarantee I answer your question, all you have to do is leave a super chat. It's not that I'm trying to make people pay. It's that I can't sit on here all day because these questions will keep going forever and ever. But yeah, if you want me to ever answer a question, all I ask is that you leave a super chat, because it wasn't like I still had probably 30 more questions to even get to the bottom of that list. So I mean, that's the thing. I'm very sorry I couldn't get to your question, but we do these every Thursday. Show up early. That's the best way to do it. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Thursday. Show up earlier. That's when it's like first building. Oh, Sahil. See, there we go. I can answer your question. So we'll do that before the giveaway. Let me go find Sahil's question, because, I mean, that's the promise I made, so I'm going to do it. Where are you, Sahil? Sahil. There you are. Sahil from the UK recently signed a client who is a rapper, needs more engagement on Instagram. Suggest best strategy. So, Sahil, does he, I mean, it's going to rely on his budget, how big of an influencer he is currently. If he has a large budget, that's not an issue then. You just spend and run reach and awareness campaigns and promote all of his content really in a really cool way. If he doesn't have a huge budget, then what I would suggest is spending what you can on ads to build reach and awareness and keep that going. You have to be consistent. That's the other thing. People think I can run a reach and awareness campaign, one time, and that audience is just going to stick forever. It doesn't. It takes follow-up. Otherwise, that audience falls off and they stop listening to you. So make sure that if you do have an ad budget, that you're spending enough and doing it consistently on Instagram, running reach and awareness campaigns to people who have an interest in that style of rap. I would say if he's in the UK, start it obviously in the UK, and like the US doesn't listen to a lot of UK rap, for example. So if it has that kind of UK style to the rap, then you'll want to target the UK audiences and anybody else around that area that also likes UK style rap. And I'm sure actually you could target the U.S. and target people who have, who already cater towards UK style rap. Because I'm sure there are audiences here. There's people who live here that are from the UK. So that's what I would do there. And then make sure that you're remarketing to those audiences. Don't just spend money on the front end. You have to consistently remarket to keep that audience engaged. That's going to help you build a larger organic reach, I promise you. What else? Next is going to be making sure that you're incorporating stories into the campaign, and not just stories of like promo videos and trying to sell stuff and trying to get people to listen to the song, but actually plan out stories for that rapper to shoot. Like, don't just make him come up with stuff. You're a marketer. Help him come up with ideas of things for him to shoot. Like, get a calendar of what he's doing that month, and each day of the week say, okay, what are you doing this day? You need to shoot something, and plan that out for him, so that, or her if it's a girl, so that way they know what they should be shooting, and make it easy for them to create content. Because that's the thing, he's not worried about creating content. He's worried about marketing and making himself look cool, which is fine, but your job is to make sure that he understands how to reach people that matter, and not only that, but keep them engaged the entire time that he is trying to build his brand and release new music to his audience. So those are my suggestions. Make sure that you definitely check out stories, though. Like, story marketing is like easily one of the best ways for people who have a personal brand, or it's an actual person, to build their audience and their viewership. Starting off with a paintball park and a friend's sister's sandwich shop. Not charging them to gain experience and build a portfolio. Thoughts on this? That's totally fine. As long as it's people you know in the beginning, like, that would be really some of the only times I ever suggest doing something for free. If you're not going to get, like, paid, like, even someone who, you know, it's not someone that you know, or it's not like a family member. If they're going to make you do work for them, at least get paid like $10 an hour. Like, don't just get paid nothing. See if they'll pay you $10 an hour to do it. You know, something to compensate you for your time. And tell them, you know, I'm in a building stage. I'm going to make a case study out of this. Can we do $10 an hour to start? You know, whatever's feasible for you in your area. But there's not a problem with that. And here's the thing. Spend time doing two primary things, okay, with these people. Creating quality content and running campaigns as far as ad campaigns. So running cold traffic, remarketing campaigns, and then conversion style campaigns. And also creating content. So what it's like to create blog content, really quality, high quality video, ad video, B-roll footage, and incorporating that into more of a branding style video where you get engagement, right? So those would, I mean, that's my feedback there. Eye of the Yosemite. God, sorry, Eye of the Yosemite. I think that would be a great way to get started. And really, that's what I recommend, guys, to anyone is if you are getting started, you either need to find someone that you can run campaigns for before you just go out there and start trying to take on clients, and prove to yourself and to someone else that you can actually increase sales. Once you do that, then go out there and start showing people your case studies. But next, what I would say is getting on something like Upwork. And when you get on Upwork, you can start taking on clients there. And then all you have to, like, people don't realize how cool of a tool Upwork is. It is a sales tool that if you use it for your agency, you can land clients and then eventually work off of Upwork and start taking on the entire fee, right? So I don't know. People don't use the resources that they have available to the best of their ability, in my opinion. And that's what you also have to think. Upwork, yes, they take a fee. They take 20%. Cool. That's your marketing budget. So you keep 80%. It would have cost you 20% to market anyways. Boom. Isaiah, yes, I do have paid consultation calls, but since I don't primarily like to focus on one-on-one consultation calls, I charge a lot, really. I charge a lot just because my time is super valuable anyways, but I charge a little extra just because I don't like to do them. But if you really want to talk to me one-on-one, I'll make sure to set that up. You just have to pay, but it's $350 for 1 hour. So if you're interested in doing that, just shoot us a message. But again, it is expensive for that reason. I don't have a ton of time to spend on the phone. So if I'm going to take a whole hour out of my day, then it has to be worth it for me. And we easily are pulling that in per hour. So that's what I would say. I pay you $10 to ask you questions. Where do I go for that again? There should be an option right below the video that says something about Super Chat. I believe it's right below the video. Or it has like a little dollar sign with a little thingy thing going through it. But yeah, you just tap that, and then that should be all it is to do a Super Chat. But if you guys are ready, took care of my obligations, made sure to answer those questions. I have the Yosemite. I hope that... Oh, I paid you 10. Oh, gotcha. You're talking about the mentorship program. All you do is go to serialentrepreneur.academy. You can log into your account there. And then we have a private Facebook group on Facebook for people who are in the mentorship program. If you're not in that mentorship group, that's where you need to get. So make sure to send an email to info@serialentrepreneur.academy. Let them know your name. And if you aren't added into the group, they will get you added into the Facebook group. But info@serialentrepreneur.academy, and yeah, they'll get you in the group. But yeah, that's where we host the lives, is in the Facebook group. So, and we do those every Wednesday, guys. $10 per month. If you want questions answered, $10 per month. As long as you can make our 3 p.m. training, because I only do 1 training right now. It's kind of hard to do a ton of extra live trainings right now, which I'm making up some tomorrow. Not making up, but like hosting 2 of them tomorrow, one for the personal branding course, one for the digital marketing school, because today was just not a good day for me to do it. But we do live trainings all the time in both the course. When you buy one of the courses, you get those trainings, and if you're in the MAP mentorship, we do 1 every single week. So that's really your best bet right there. So Hill, I'm glad that I was able to help. I have the Yosemite. Glad I was able to help you too, and I'm glad you're getting started in the biz. But if you guys are ready for the mentorship program, I need you to do me a favor and leave a thumbs up, and then also write yes in the comment box, so that way I know you're ready to play, and we will get the game started for the mentorship giveaway. Will you have a package for branding and marketing? What do you mean a package for brand? We have a course on branding and marketing. It's called the Personal Branding and Influencer Marketing Masterclass. So if you're looking for something like that, there you go. It's just over at serialentrepreneur.academy. All right, we got a couple of yeses going through. There's only 3 people playing today. That's kind of sad. 4 people playing, 5 people playing, 6 people playing. Okay, there we go. I was about to say, nobody wants to play today. That's fine. We don't have to run it. I mean, I could just go if y'all don't want to play and don't want a mentorship course. So I guess I'll go ahead and end this video now, if that's really what y'all want. Okay, no, we're getting a ton of people saying something. Y'all come and find me. Jordan, you better give it away. All right, so let me see here. I'm going to roll through these questions now that I know that you guys are paying attention and that you're here. Oh, I know the question. I already know the question. I said it a couple of times tonight. Let's see if anybody can get it, because you really had to be paying attention to get it. I'm not going to lie. All right. So, in what month did we say that we are launching Digital Marketing School 2.0? In what month did we say that we are launching Digital Marketing School 2.0? Boom, Mario Mitchell. Mario Mitchell. Dang, some people were paying attention. I think the other people who missed it, they were kind of paying attention. They were like, oh, damn, I know it's like halfway through the year, but I don't know if it was June or May or April. All right, so Mario Mitchell, you are the winner for today. Make sure that you send a message to facebook.com/serial entrepreneur and over at our business page, again, facebook.com/serial entrepreneur. Send a message over to there, and we will get your promo code over to you by tomorrow. So thank you again for playing. Oh, looks like somebody asked me a question. I got to answer. Where do you find people to outsource work to? Isaiah. Let me get... I'm going to put a link in here. This is one of my favorite ones. Pretty sure that link will work. What? Error. Edit and try again. Oh, let me try this. Maybe that'll work. The two... Okay. Alright, so if you guys want... Why is it... Are y'all able to see that? freeup.com/serial entrepreneur. Make sure you go to that link if you're looking for a place to outsource, number one, because if you use my link, you're going to get $50 for free. You get like $50 worth of credits for free towards your first outsourcing job. So that's FreeUp with 3 E's. All right, free, F-R-E-E-E, up.com/serial entrepreneur. I believe that's the link for our code or our outsourcing partnership with them. But if you go there and use that link, you'll get a free $50 to start outsourcing. So there's your scheduler for just, you can go in the URL and type it in again, FreeUp, F-R-E-E-E, up.com. So I'm going to type that in. Let me see if it'll let me type that in. Why are you not letting me type? It's telling me error every time I type something. It's FreeUp, F-R-E-E-E, up.com/serial entrepreneur. I'm doing all this over here. I don't know what I'm doing all this for. I'm just like, I'm seeing myself over here in my camera. I'm just like, I do it. That looks so weird. Okay. But yeah, if you go there, you will get $50 towards your first hire. There and Upwork are the two best platforms, in my opinion, to hire people. I don't like Fiverr. Freelancer.com, it doesn't look good, really. Like, I kind of like websites that are just aesthetically pleasing. And Upwork just looks clean and neat, and it's easy to work in, and it's a really great platform. So there, and again, FreeUp, they do really a lot of the work for you as far as the hiring is concerned, and every single hire they have that I've seen has been quality. We've really hardly ever had an issue with anything from FreeUp, so definitely recommend you guys checking that one out too. And plus, you're going to get $50 for free. Why would you not go ahead and take $50 for free? That's a scheduler. If you hire a scheduler for $4 an hour or $3 an hour, and let's say you have 3 clients, I mean, that'll cover scheduling content for 3 clients for like maybe 2 months. So, boom. But I hope that you guys are able to get over to that site, because seriously, it's a badass VA site that I definitely recommend you guys using. But I'm going to get out of here. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes now because of my obligation that I promised to answer people's questions who left me super chat. No more super chats. Y'all quit paying me. I'm going to go. It's late, but I hope that you guys have a great week and a great weekend. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me every single week, and I can't wait to have you guys either in the program in the future, or if you're in the program, thank you very much. But I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys next Thursday for our next live stream. Until next time, though, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye, guys.